I feel like there are so many leaders that, one, don't realize they're leaders, because there's power that comes from authority, and there's power that just comes organically from living, breathing, and moving in this world, and we each have influence. So there's quantified power and just the power of being in the room. So we want to use that well. We want to use it from a place of goodness and from a place that brings about a good influence in others. And the more we know about ourselves, the more we'll be able to do that and empower that in others. That's the thing. So leaders don't often have training in the skills of being a good human being and managing others. They're often promoted because they can do certain tasks. That's also important. But it's the skills of human relationships that really differentiate good leaders from others. And I mentioned I'm a ridiculous Cub fan. And here are two great examples of these principles. On October 25th, 2011, Tom Ricketts, the chairman of the ownership group of the Chicago Cubs, had a press conference and announced that Theo Epstein would be the new president of baseball operations. That was the day, October 25th, 2011, that I knew a championship was coming to Chicago, because Theo Epstein was going to uproot and replant the culture from the tip top in his office all the way down to the volunteers at the lowest level of the organization. He was very clear what the company values were, what it meant to be in the Cubs organization, and that it would be expected and enforced. And that made all the difference. He got rid of a lot of players that did not embody those values. They were good players, but they weren't good clubhouse guys, was the language that they used in the baseball world. He wanted people that not only were talented, but could relate to each other. He said that he wants people to show up each day that not only want to win for themselves, but just as much want to win for their teammates, that they would love to see their great friends experience the thrill of victory as much or even more than for themselves. He said, when you have a group of people that want that, the championship is inevitable. And so he set standards and values for the entire organization, from the kid that came and picked up coffee orders at the minor leagues all the way to his office in Chicago. David Ross was a third string catcher that they brought in specifically to pair up with John Lester. But David Ross was a third string catcher. There were two catchers above him in the roster, but they don't win without David Ross. And here's why. Every day when David Ross came to that clubhouse, he took time to speak to every single teammate in the clubhouse. He knew their names. He knew the names of their family members. He knew the things they cared about. And because he had that connection with them, he was able to hold them accountable and say, hey, you're not putting in the work, and it showed up today. Or, hey, I know you're frustrated because things didn't go your way today, but you keep showing up and you keep putting in the work. It's going to turn around. Hang in there. It was the power of relationships that he had. And if you go fast forward to 2016, when they clinched, spoiler alert, if you didn't know this already, but the Cubs won the World Series in 2016. And in the interviews after the game, and in the coverage after the game, there's one person that they hoisted on their shoulders. It was David Ross. He was the heart of that team. He was the one they all gave credit to of why they wanted to win so badly and how they were able to win so well. So the power